Our speaker today is Linda, and Linda is going to tell us all about the financial world. Linda, take it away.
Hi, I'm Linda Lovie, and I am going to share today what I call Jeopardy number 2. I have Jeopardy number 1 on my website and on my YouTube channel if you want to see those. What that is the stories of different events that I've experienced with my clients, and I wanted to share those to help other people not make some of the same mistakes. So, with that being said, here are the categories. Don't get left behind for 100, too good to be true for 200, a sure thing for 300, last love letter 500, can't let a good thing go for 1,000, all or none for 1,000, or the tax man cometh for 2,000. Who wants to pick one first? Okay, go ahead.
I want to do the last love letter for 500, please.
All right, got it. So, this is a scenario where I had a gentleman who came in. We started talking. He had a plan through his company. I talked with him about getting some life insurance because he had a 24-year-old girlfriend, a 4-year-old son, and a 2-year-old daughter. And he said we're going to get it through another company. And then later on, I got a call from somebody that I didn't quite recognize the name. Turns out it was his girlfriend. His dad had passed. He went back east to help his mother help settle some of the things with the estate. When he was there, went to jump in a swimming pool, and he tripped and fell and he broke his neck. And so they had to fly him back here to Renown. And while he was here, he developed bleeding issues, and he ended up passing. And he never got the insurance. So he left his 24-year-old girlfriend and his 2 kids with that. And I looked at the prices that I quote for him, and it was like $24 that he could have had a life insurance policy. So whatever you do, the answer to that is make sure you leave that last love letter. So especially if you got people dependent on you. All right, now I'm sure you know what else we've got. What would you like to?
Too good to be true for 200, please.
All right, too good to be true. All right, so this one, okay, so we had a client that she decided she had this opportunity to buy this really nice collector car for her husband. And so she took the money out of her IRA. She ended up paying a penalty of 10%. Plus, she jacked up her income taxes higher. So then she had to pay the income taxes on it. So that really good deal that was so too good to be true didn't turn out to be so good to be true. So whenever you want something like that, make sure you have like an extra account set aside for extra opportunities. I always tell people have one strictly for cash reserves, one for emergencies. And then if you're a person you like to do that kind of thing, have the extra account for that. All right.
A sure thing.
A sure thing. All right, sure thing for 300. All right, so yes, somebody came to me and they had different investments and they were doing pretty good, and they ran across a chance to put money into an ethanol plant. And they asked me to look through all the paperwork. And it was blatantly said all the way across it, for accredited investors only, and that it was illiquid. And I mean, it had it posted all the way through it. So I told him, I said, okay, if you want to do this, don't do more than 10% of your liquid assets. But his sister-in-law was getting money from one that she had put money into. So he just knew it was a sure thing. So he put a bunch of money into it. It never panned out and he never saw a dime. So again, if you're going to do anything that's like speculation like that, keep it to 10%. A good rule I say is if you can afford to lose it and it's not going to put you in a bind, then go for it. But just use the right percentages. So next. Barb?
Can't let a good thing go.
All right. This one I have to say a disclaimer with right off the bat. And that is, whenever you have a portfolio and you're going to rebalance it, and kind of put the right proportions in there, be aware that anytime you're splitting up your funds and stuff, there could be different fees and so on associated. A lot of times though, if you have wrap accounts or if you're buying the same mutual fund family, that's not an issue. The story with this one is, I have a person who I talked with, I did a financial plan for them. They had like 80% of the money in one stock because their husband had worked for this company. So I told him you need to diversify that. You need to get that, split up. Well, he didn't do it, and then later on he passed. His wife was so attached to it, she wouldn't let go of it. Later on, the company came back and said, okay, we're forcing a buyback. She ended up having, she told me, a $55,000 tax bill. So diversify your assets. So All right. Joe.
Segue, the tax man coming.
All right. This is another good one. Person I knew, the husband lost a job like in October, and so they started taking money out of their IRA. They weren't 59 and a half yet. They were using it to supplement their income. Christmas comes along. They decide they want to buy a nice big bunch of Christmas presents. So then when they get ready to file their taxes, the next couple of months later, they end up having this huge tax bill because they did not withhold tax stuff because they were, again, not of age. They weren't 59 and a half. They had that penalty, the 10% penalty. Plus, because they took so much, it jacked up their income tax rate. So they had to take money out of their IRA again to pay the tax bill. And once again, they didn't change the withholdings or hold money out. So the second year in a row, they did the same thing. They had to take money back out again before they kind of figured out, oh, we better quit doing this. So yeah, the IRAs are not a place to put, to take money from. That's a very, very expensive ordeal. So I always tell people too, if you've got something like that, go to your CPA and have a tax estimate done for you. So that way you can, have a kind of beat that. So, all right.
Don't get left behind.
All right. Maybe a little disclaimer here. Okay. See now, this is actually my little story. When I worked for a company, I had a pension plan and I also had a 401k, and I didn't realize I had to fill out 2 different sets of paperwork. So I missed filling out the paperwork for the pension. So then I had to wait all these years before I could actually get money, get out that money, roll it over to my own account. And meanwhile, the parent company, got sued for asbestos exposure, so I had to worry about was there going to be any money left. So the rule on that then is, and whenever you leave, it's better for you to actually typically take the money with you. That way you're not exposing it to that kind of exposure of what's going on in the company you're not aware of. And then you also want to actively rebalance your account so that typically it will get a better rate of return if you're rebalancing it. And then a lot of times it's better to put it in your own account instead of roll it into your next 401k because their choices are so limited typically. And then the other thing is never, ever, ever have the check made out to you. Never. Have it always made out to the company you're rolling it to for the benefit of, and then your name. Otherwise you create a tax liability that way. So there.
All or none.
All right. Oh yeah. Psychologically, it's so strange when people will come to me and they say, all right, we've got this emergency, they don't have any other place to take money from, and I'll say, okay, how much do you need? And they'll look at and instead of taking what they barely really need, if the account says like 5,000, they say, okay, I'll take 5,000. So I have to remind them, it isn't an all or none scenario. Take just what you need because you don't want to be taking money from your IRA. Again, have cash reserves set up so you can handle emergencies like that. Tremendous inconveniences. But here we go. Thank you, guys.
Linda, why don't you tell us how people can get a hold of you?
All right. So Linda Lovie at Lovie Wealth Management. I have a website, which is LLOVIE. So that's really nice and easy. My telephone number is 775-544-4714. Again, that's 775-544-4714. And my email is LLOVIE@BROKERSIFS.com. Shouldn't I turn that into a song? Thank you, guys.
All right, awesome. So if you're looking for some great financial advice, give Linda a call. And if you're looking for a referral group that thinks outside the box, films their members and puts it all over social media, give us a call here at Truckee Meadows Networking, 775-772-5895. Thanks, and we will see you guys next week. Take care.